Some say love, it is a river that leaves your soul to bleed. I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed. Mm-hmm. 22 years ago, in 1998, I was in the city of Amsterdam. I had been invited to participate in an international forum in regards to community strategies for caring for people who are living with HIV. It had been a rather difficult week, attending many conferences, meeting people within many organizations, amongst other things. The closing ceremony was held at the Buurt van Berlage, which was a building a little bit more than 100 years old. It had formerly been the stock exchange and was now a wonderful conference center. The wonderful hall with high ceilings, despite its high ceilings, was rather warm, as it was filled with hundreds and hundreds of attendees. As I sat there, listening to the people who gave testimony to the loved ones that they had lost to the pandemic, the HIV pandemic, I could not help but begin to feel that within me a series of emotions began to move profoundly within me. At some point of the ceremony, we all had little candles, I believe, in our hands, and at that point the lights were dimmed. And at that point, I began to hear the voices of hundreds and hundreds of participants who began to very softly and gently to name those who had died. My Dutch friends had observed that I was a little bit at discomfort, and it was a little bit difficult for me to sort of let go my feelings, and they were very understanding. I could feel their closeness to me, their warmth as they cared for me and respectfully touched me and hugged me. And when finally I was able to pronounce the first name of one of those people whom I had lost, I began to cry profoundly, as if there were a torrential rain. At the end of the ceremony, I can remember vaguely as I was practically escorted out, and on our way out, we were all given helium-filled balloons. We walked to the nearby Dam Square, from where you can see the National Palace. And as we walked out into the square, I could hear the bells ringing, and just at about the same time, we began to hear the song The Rose, which was highly popularized by Beth Midler, I believe, and which I sang at the beginning of this video, just a line or two. The words of the song sang deeply within me, and it made me begin to cry. I cried and cried profoundly as I observed the sunset, as well as hundreds and hundreds of attendees who began at that moment to let go of their helium balloons. And when finally I was able to do this, there was a feeling of liberation, as if something very, very heavy had been lifted off my shoulders. At the end of the day, I was so exhausted. Throughout the years, I have reflected on this moment in my life, and I have found myself recurrently returning time and again to this experience in my life whenever I have lost someone in my very own life. The song, the words, the lyrics, the tune of the song constantly is within my mind, and I frequently find myself humming the song. And as I do, I think about those people who are no longer here physically, those who have died for whatever reason. And as I do this, I find liberation. I find liberation because experience has taught me that recognizing those who have shared their lives with me and in some matter or the other, big or large, have been kind enough and loving enough to share a small part of their lives with me has been a blessing, and thereby pronouncing their names liberates me. Today, respectfully and very lovingly, I would like to invite you that together we do the same thing. In a short while, I will ask you, wherever you may be at present, perhaps you are at home, to close your eyes. And once you have closed your eyes, you will hear my voice as I begin to name those who have in many ways shared, given me a part of their lives and are no longer physically here. And as I do this, I ask you to do the same. Hear yourself naming and honoring those who at some point shared their lives with you and no longer are here today. I invite you to close your eyes. Emilia, Filomeno, Sixto, Billy, Liodi, Giovanni, Petita, Christopher, Mari, Beto, Anita, Paquita, Bibi, Concha, Nela, Angus, Mónica, Miguel, Aurora, Nicolasa, Goyo, Lulia, Fina, Monse, Enriqueta, Gloria, Pedro, Pando, Agustín, Braulio, Marco, Rubén, Bill, José Luis, Héctor, Tarcisio, Irma, Mariodil, Nick. Permanece ahí con tus ojos cerrados. Dejando fluir tu emoción, tu pensamiento, tu sentir en presencia, en recuerdo, en agradecimiento a quien en su momento compartió y te brindó una parte de su vida. Thank you for your presence, for your trust, for sharing this moment with me and with those that you love. Respectfully and lovingly, I embrace you. Thank you.